Big good afternoon and welcome round 14 QAFL action down here at Jack Esplanova. Home of the Morningside Panthers. They are sitting pretty in third at the moment and leading the charge for the Brisbane teams. And this afternoon, a Brisbane derby up against the Western Magpies. So it's been a tough season for sitting in seventh, and you'd probably say that if they don't get over the line this afternoon, that might be curtains for them for 2019. Join the commentary box. Loved calling with this man, Riley Starray. Big clash this afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute ripper, Nico. Pleasure as always calling with you. We can describe this today as essentially D-Day if you're a Western Magpie. 3-8, probably, actually not probably, they've been the most disappointing side in season 2019 so far. Their season has really just spluttered along quite poorly. But if they can win today, and they do go in as underdogs, but if they can win, they've got a pretty favourable run home and they can make a charge at the top five.
Whereas you'd say Morningside definitely had the season they've been dreaming of, just sitting on percentage behind Broadbeach. But we're about to get underway in this ruck battle. I'm really looking forward to seeing the young man, Samson Ryan, for the Magpies. And I'll tell you what, not the ideal start there for umpire Tim Somerville there. He's gone with a big off break to start with. I don't think Marcus Stoinis would have picked that wrong. And we're going to go again the old-fashioned way, tap down, and they're off and underway straight into the path there of Levis. He gets it going forward for the Panthers. Good start. Bobbling around the footy is David Lewis for the Magpies, trying to get hands on it, wrapped up in a tackle. That footy's not going anywhere. We're going to have a ball up 40 metres out for the Panthers' goal.
So first opportunity here for the Panthers. Rucks go at it. Ryan almost won that down that time. Got immediately tackled from Mollison. Eventually it's cleared away from Edwards, but it's all Morningside. And Hodge sitting in the top five of the Sid Guildford. He's really had a breakout season in season 2019. Such an up and rising star in this competition. Will pretty much send it right back from whence it came. Almost hit his opposite number in the ruck. Harwood, good to see him back in the last few weeks. He's played some good footy. Winton steps inside, gets the hand pass away, kick over the top towards half forward. It's all favouring Morningside at the moment, but Frame's overrun it. This really lets Goodall in here for the Pies. It's a good kick as well. That's going to bounce. That's going to roll towards goal. And it has got there.
I didn't touch it. He left it alone.
Well, Jack Goodall, he's kicked a dead set worm burner, and it's gone over the back and dribbled through at about a snail's pace. First goal on the board this afternoon. 1 straight 6 to the visiting Magpies. Morningside yet to score.
I can't believe that. They came beautifully off the half back line, but you saw that kick straight over the top there. And I'm just trying to get a look at the number right there, because that was rolling ever so slowly towards the goal line, but did not think to get a single finger on it. So first goal of the afternoon against the Breeze, which we probably should mention is blowing to the left of your screen at the moment, pretty much directly towards the scoreboard. So you were telling me about before the game, maybe a 4-goal Breeze this way this is going. So not the ideal start for the Panthers. They need to turn this around. Ball's going to go back up again in the centre, courtesy of umpire Jacob Severs. Slams it into the deck. Better that one. Tap goes down forward. Well done by Hodge, but the Maggies first hands to the footy. Going to get this going forward just with belting it through the hands. That's Luke Mitchell managing to get that one away. Danger kick towards the wing. Punch forward there by Henry Joyce. They're going forward and straight out in front. Taken by Peter Mollison. 23 Sid Guildford so far this season, and 12 goals already in the bank now. This kick, as we mentioned, he's got the wind behind him, but that breeze will just be blowing across his body. So he's going to want to try and kick this one out towards the far goalpost and hope it comes back a little bit. But they just steadied the ship after maybe quite a nervous start by the Panthers. So in they come. Mollison, right foot ball, it's on its way. Goal umpire's running, not a good sign. For a minor score, so Morningside just the straight behind, and the visitors 1 straight 6.
So this is a good start here for the Magpies to at least just keep themselves in the game. The last time these two sides met, it was quite dangerous. That's going to be a turnover. This should be a goal of the Panthers, and Mallon, well, from about 15 metres out, he's just snapped it to the left side.
Had more
That's
time.
a let-off there for the Magpies. 1 straight 6 to 2 behinds early stages of this first quarter, as Mitchell will bring it back into play towards half-back. The target there was Mollison in the front position. Couldn't quite take it there for the Panthers. It's going to be turned over anyway. That's a real skidding sort of a ball inside the forward 50 off hands. Magpies have done well to at least have the numbers. Edwards, well, he's immediately tackled. And umpire Jacob Severs says, give it to me. Just to remind you, umpires this afternoon, Jacob Severs, Josh Moore and Tim Somerville, some of the best in the business in this competition.
Yeah, there we just saw the round 9 rising star, Daniel Edwards, get wrapped up there. Ball gets tapped down. And again, that footy not going anywhere. Deck's starting to dry up a little bit here at Jack Esplin Oval. We're really getting to that dry winter period we see in Queensland winter footy, but spectacular day, 23 degrees this afternoon. Ball falls to the back of the pack. Hodge is dangerous around the contest. Just gets the hands back. Now the Magpies can reload off the half back line. Just going to take the man on. Nicely done. Hands running through the centre of the ground. That's a bit better. Riley Easton gets the footy going forward. Left foot ball over the top. It's going to drop. Got the one-on-one. How's it going to bounce up? No prior opportunity. Gets a little ball off the ground. Hands over the top. That was frame. Nicely done. Now they can escape out the side. Saxon Crozier just has to switch the ball across the ground and finds Bradley Howard.
Howard's going to run and take a bounce. That's a second. Comes off his knee, but gets it back. Good kick up the line. Well, it looked good off the boot initially, but then went sideways. He's followed it up well. It's a free kick. And it's going to go the way of the veteran, David Lewis, which is unfortunate because the Panthers were away there on that occasion.
Yeah, good piece of movement.
So Lewis, right on the true wing, towards half forward. Well, big fly at the back, no mark taken from Goodall, off hands. Good tackle from Saunders has tied it up. And this is a really good start for the Magpies. Watched them a few times this year, and every time they'd come out pretty sluggish, but they look on song early. They only came out 3 minutes before the bounce, so I reckon they would have got a pretty big rev from Coach Bryden Morgan.
Yeah, it's strange that we were waiting for them to come out for a while, almost New South Wales style we saw there. So there's so much on the line this afternoon for the Maggies. The ball towards the wing, just off hand, second bite of the cherry now. It's fallen into his back there, but I don't think the umpire's going to call it. And tell you what, the P wasn't really going the whistle there. So on the second blow, he regains authority. So going to have a ball up right here on centre wing, right in front of the Panthers Social Club. His tap goes down, and tell you what, he's beaten Hodge a couple times this afternoon already. Bradley Hodge stamping his name in the competition as the best big man going around. So we're going to have another ball up on centre wing.
Give the honours that time, the Hodge in front of ball, off hands, Harwood. Couldn't quite get the footy away. Joyce fed it back off the hand. Found McNeese and he's gone for holding the ball. This has been a really good start for the Maggies. They are swooping early. Last time these two sides played, the only thing that kept them within 52 points was Morningside's accuracy at goal of 11-22. Should have been a lot further that day. Good kick short. Finds target there in Johnson, who sends it forward towards the 50. Ryan, well, he tried to get it from the back, but he didn't quite, and that's a good mark from Frame. So Frame, not that much movement ahead, and he's got more just plunked in the hole, boundary side, so he's just going to have to think about this. He eventually has to set it up. Now Hodge and Moore, one-on-one. Good work there from Moore. He always had good positioning on Brad Hodge, and early doors, but the Maggies ruckman look on song.
Yeah, the big Gerard pumps it long, but his man's just overrun it. I'll tell you what, both of them overrun it. We've got to push out, and it's going to go the Panthers' way. So Daniel Frame is going to have to be strong down there in defence. Saxon Crozier now just runs it out wide, pushes the far side of the ground, and worked his man really cleverly there, that Ethan Hunt, and he's got a bit of space to work with. Picks it up on the bounce, takes it first, he's about to be run down, gets it going now to the half-forward flank, looking in the Mollison direction, couldn't get on the first bite. Henry Joyce now, round on the right foot, kicks over the top, trying to find Mallon. Mallon can't quite get it, rolls over the line for, no, not for a boundary throw, in fact, that was out in the full, so it's going to be going the Pies' way, kicking from directly in front of the scoreboard, and they kick across the face of goal, trying to escape out the far side of the ground.
Lewis, well, that's actually gone out on the full.
Oh.
So Ryan Dadds, the amount of Dadds unknown, will have a shot at goal from about 25 metres out. Very tough angle, but the wind will help.
Yeah, just got to put it up into this breeze and almost just let it drop back down. It's going his way. Don't need to overkick it.
So the Redlands product, been floating between the Panthers and the Neefle, sets it on its way. He's kicked a goal. Well, it looked across the face of goal initially, but that is a ripping kick from Ryan Dadds. First one on the board for the Panthers. And they've got a 2-point lead here, early doors of this first quarter. 1-2-8 to 1-6. Saturday afternoon football, nowhere you'd rather be. Nick Davis.
Yeah, I didn't mind that kick at all. And the forward pressure that the Panthers put on there, it was a good ball movement getting inside the forward 50, but their ability to shut it down, we've seen it time and time again already this season. So Magpies forced to move it out the far side, but just that forward pressure to shut down that space. And that was a superb finish there from Ryan Dadds, the blonde bombshell, and he could be dangerous this afternoon.
He certainly could be. He's such a mercurial player, is Ryan Dadds. He's got a lot of skill, and when he gets the ball, he can have some serious impact on the contest. So, good start to this one, Brisbane Derby. And back in the middle, Rucks will contest it. Hodge wins at that time. Over Ryan, it's just kicked forward like a bomb towards the forward 50 from Aston. Comes off the bounce, punched away there from Lewis. Cleverly done forward initially. That could be holding the ball. It is holding the ball. So after Morningside looked a little shaky early, they really put the pressure on here. And Rhett Lloyd dropped the agate quite convincingly. And Colenso, who's kicked 20 goals in season 2019, is lining up for number 21.
What a find he's been this year, Colenso. Just watch his action of his. A real cannon with that right. Bang, there he goes. And he's sent the goal umpire in a bit of a sprint, so through for a minor score. Scores even at the moment. In fact, the second half went 1-3-9 to the Pies, just one straight. So Western Magpies, a bit of work to do at this point.
Back in the field, the play from Lewis. Well, that's either going to carry out before it did. That carried quite some distance, but Hodges taken. He's going to take the free kick. He always had position on that ball anyway, so he could have probably marked it. And he'll send it right in towards the forward 50. Huge pack of players coming up. Fly from the back, no mark taken. Colenso towards the boundary just escorts it over. And it's going to be thrown in. Thing to mention this afternoon, Nico, there are some key outs for both sides. If we look through Morningside, just to name a few, Nathan Beck, who I've coined as the Wall of Mexico. Jimmy Rayner is such a mercurial player, and Cameron Spence this week as well is not playing for the Panthers. So an opportunity here for the Maggies.
Yeah, the ball gets tapped down again. Just spills around the back, big slinging tackle, got 360 degrees there. Could have been called, wasn't. Benjamin McNeese now at the bottom of the pack, cheeky little kick away. Now the Maggies can get this out, but they don't. Turned over immediately, just bustling his way through the contest. Really opened it up onto the left foot. And the goal umpire sprinting off again tells you one thing, through for another minor score. Panthers, they go to 1-10. The visitors one straight. And this kick out isn't quite working for the Magpies at the moment. I think they might need to try something different. They keep banging it long down the line. We saw it there, and it's just been turned over. Again, they can reload the Panthers, going long to the hot spot, and just came in a little bit late. There did the young man, and it's been turned over, Pies ball. So probably trying to hit up a couple of short 45s here. They are kicking into a breeze. Do need to point that out, but just going to bomb it again. But the big man's perched right under it, gets the fist away and sees it over the line at the Riding Road wing. And going to the boundary throw in.
So Morningside, at least in the last few minutes, have had the better of the territory battle. The ball will come back into play. Moore's got front position over Hodge, but Hodge probably just got a hand to it eventually. And now here come the Panthers. Godfrey towards the forward 50. Goes towards the back. Good spoil there from Winton. Probably been the Magpies' best in season 2019. Such a consistent performer, Luca Winton.
Yeah, he played all games this year, Luca Winton, and the only Magpie to do so.
Go once again. Morningside would love another goal. You get a little bit of a break. You get some reward for this territory dominance. Moore won the tap down. Again goes to his hands and knees. Got the hand pass away. Good tackle laid there from Hunt. And we'll have another stoppage inside the forward 50 here for the Panthers. They're putting the pressure on. See if they can get some results.
They continue to do so. They've done this so often this season. The tap goes down again. Rode this really well off the pack. Just got to be strong here. Keep the body over the top of the contest. Spilling around. Umpire lets it go. Swarm of bodies, and they've just edged this one a little bit closer. Phase after phase, they're getting themselves closer to the line. So ball goes up again. Moore's got to be good. Tap comes down, spills out the back. Just got to get the hands off. Beats one opponent. Left foot ball. He's got the sweeper on the line. Just the goalkeeper just saves and bumps it over the bar, through for another minor score. 12.5 minutes gone first term. Morningside 1-5-11. The Magpies one straight 6. And Riley Starray, Maggies need to try something probably a little bit different to get out of this back line.
You'd certainly think so. Well, there was the short option there presented, but instead they're going to go down the middle. This could work if it carries. Instead of probably a little kick off target, going in hard was Edwards, who's ridden immediately from Cameron Reeves. Crawford couldn't pick it up. Eventually going in was lumbering around. Edwards now feeds the hand pass out to Lumber. Hand pass it back. They've worked themselves into trouble. Winton, well, that's an inside-out Satana O'Halpin special towards the boundary line. Frame, as he does so often, puts the pressure on. And I think this is going to be holding the footy. And the crowd approves of that one as well. So Daniel Frame, such a resolute member of this Panthers defensive unit, has got the free kick. And that's an interesting sort of a ball. No mark taken there from Sivage over the back. Mallet, 50 metres out. Ooh. I reckon that's going to go. Oh, good mark there from Lewis. And Magpies, if they can move it quick, they are on the outer side.
Yeah, ball out to the far side of the ground now. Harrison Kerr couldn't quite get to it. So the idea was right. They had numbers flooding across the ground there, but as we said, kicking into this wind, which is a little bit swirly as well, so it doesn't help. Got to keep these kicks nice and low. So at least they're trying a few different things, and you'd hope that one of these plans is going to come off. So Hodge gets a tap down, best big man going around, hands out to the back of the contest, he's going, well, I'll tell you what, he's going the other way, but all part of the plan, turns around on a dime, gets it going to the top of the forward 50, mark out in front there by Mallon. So Mallon, you'd probably say too far out to score. Couple leads burn, now they track back to the goal square, just puts it along to the hot spot. The fly is going to come through to the back of the pack and rolls over for a boundary throw in. So 1 goal, 5-11 the Panthers, and the Maggies 1 straight 6. Nearly 15 minutes gone. First term has been a few stoppages, so probably going to see a long quarter here. So the boundary umpire just catapults it back in. You can smell something's coming here. The Panthers are getting dangerous, spills around and just gets it going off the ground. Still tumbling around. That's nice work from Hodge, the big man, down at his toes and kicks across the ground, finds Nyland Rowe.
So Nyland Rowe, just forward to centre here for the Panthers. They have dominated the territory in the last 10 minutes or so if you've just joined us. They do have a breeze they're going with, but they haven't really got scoreboard with Wall. Well, that's all Jared Moore, and that's a good mark as well.
Big Gerard.
Big Gerard indeed. Now we switch across goal to Winton, and the Magpies have numbers. There needs to be a good kick to Goodall. Well, that's good. Got to just let Robertson in. There is a block off the ball. And not much is going right for the Magpies in terms of the umpire legislation at the moment. Robertson's got the free. He's got a leading target inside the 50, which is a beautiful pass. No mark taken. It came off the hands of Joyce. The Magpies will try and repel. Eventually will come away. And it's been taken from Lloyd towards half forward. Lumber's got a job to do here. It eventually comes off hands. Frame works well with his teammate Saruria, who's back in the side this week. But they turn it over, still bouncing around. And there's another free kick called. And this time it's going the way of the Maggies. So, see if they can take the opportunity here. They're about 85 metres out from goal.
Yeah, real chance to make something happen there. They want to get it going. Long takes on the man, sells a bit of candy. Now long to the square. The fly's going to come from Goodall. Can he get it? No, couldn't bring it down. Drops in front of him. Now they've still got numbers around the contest. A little dinky kick. It might work. Diving mark taken there by Brendan Saunders at full stretch. And now a chance for the second of the afternoon. So despite the territory, despite the relentless possession and pressure, all of a sudden the Maggies could take the lead.
Yeah, you could certainly say this would be against the run of play, but just to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, this game for the Magpies is huge. They need to win to stay within the finals hunt. Just get the feeling they need a win to really help their coach.
Yeah, sitting 7th at the moment. Coach Rod Morgan, well, we'll be riding this one home. So Saunders, right foot ball. It looks good. Maggies have their second. 2 straight goals, the Magpies. They lead the Panthers 1-5-11. And we've had 17 minutes gone in this first term.
Well, it looks like Brenton Saunders is playing a bit more forward this afternoon than we've seen him at different stages this year, and of course last year as well. Of course, the Magpies, they've really struggled to fill that hole in terms of forward. They lost Anthony Corrie and Jake DeWinter in the off-season. Their leading goal kicker, Jack Austin, was dropped this week.
Yep.
So he played for the reserves. And Brodie Lumber's the other one. They've only kicked 11. And that's in 11 rounds, really. So they've struggled to fill that scoring void.
And not to mention another big out at Beams. Clay Beams out this afternoon, unavailable. So the goals come from the midfielders as well, but when they're down on numbers too, as we have a reset there in the middle as they try and chase that one down. So yeah, just got to see where those goals are going to come from. But Saunders, that'll be a big confidence boost, and well, they can get another one all of a sudden. Big start against the run of play.
Certainly will be. So back in the middle. Rucks go at it. They both missed it that time and jumped into each other. Easton gets the clearance though towards half forward. That's a really good pickup taken there from Kerr, and that's a spearing pass to Saunders, who was tripped up and no free kick play on. Saruria's got some time, he's got some space, and he's got a lot of composure, the young lad. They eventually clear it. That's really well done. Cunnington back in the side this week from Redlands, sends it towards the wing position, and now they will go again towards half forward with a spearing sort of a ball. That was a ripping kick. And it's gone.
Graham's taken on out in front.
So Michael Graham towards the forward 50. 1-on-2 against Joyce here. Comes off hands and eventually over the boundary. I really like what the Magpies have done early in this ruck battle. They've really rotated quite regularly between Jared Moore and, of course, Samson Ryan. It looks like, at least initially, it's paying dividends.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to work Hodge off his feet this afternoon. He's been such a colossus this year, so if they can keep a bit of physical pressure on him around the ground as well, maybe just throw him off his game just a little bit, because he's such a good tap ruckman, but you can keep the body on him, that's going to work him pretty hard. But I'll tell you what, Bradley Hodge did bloody well then. Two-handed tap down, but they got a sweeper back, the Magpies, so they've been interesting on their transition. They've been trying to clear up a lot of space, and now the foot race is on, gets caught up in the breeze and lands in the chest of Crozier. Now, he's in no rush. He's just going to wait for the lead to come in. The Magpies have flooded well this afternoon, really cleared out the space, so he's just going to have to get going on the right. Bombs it along to the hot spot, swinging away through the hands. Couldn't quite be picked up. The dangerous Livesey, he's down there, overruns it, wrapped up in the tackle. He didn't have it there. That was Michael Graham tackling. Ball spills away, but they're still dangerous, the Panthers. Goes up again, and this one looks like it will be out on the full. So they're getting the footy down there, but just not making the most of their chances.
They've really burnt some opportunities, at least so far today. Interesting to see if it comes back to bite them. Crawford with the kicking, got it to Winton. Been busy early, quite industrious, sends it towards the wing position. Big contest coming up. That bounce, I was going to say that bounced perfectly there for Lloyd, but he's absolutely coughed it up to Crozier. He'll go in towards the middle of the ground and find Pendlebury. Not related to Scott, we don't believe.
I was going to say, there's a stretch, but...
Pendlebury is a left footer. Well, how about that? Good kick to Livesey. Livesey's about 70 metres out from goal. There's not that much movement ahead of him, but there's some space if he wants someone to lead there. He doesn't. Instead, he went to Colenso, and that's just going to go innocently enough over the boundary. Yeah, we'll have a throw in as we hit time on into this opening quarter. Two straight 12 to 1-5-11. Inaccuracy largely the story if you're a Panther fan.
Looks like Rolly Easton had been given the job on the very dangerous Colenso this afternoon, but worked him really well under the ball there, just used the wind to run him under it. So what can they do here, the Panthers? Hodge just gets the juke out and gets the tap going forward. They need a score here, the Panthers, trying to maintain some ascendancy. Wrapped up in a gang tackle there, manages to turn it over the old one-on-one strip, and no, the umpire says, I'll take that, thank you very much. And we're going to have a ball up about 20 metres out from the Panthers' goal. As you said, that surge, it keeps coming and coming, but they're yet to convert. So they're doing well, the Magpies' defence, and they managed to get that one out as well. The two 21s battle at it. 24 hands over the top. Now they can make something happen. A little wobbly kick and just parked underneath it. There was Aaron Highlands.
He'd be featuring prominently in their best and fairest as well. He was quite good in the QA4 rep game, was Aaron Highlands. Send the kick towards the wing. That could be a free kick to Goodall. It's not paid, and we'll have a throw in right on the wing. I think Bryden Morgan, he'd be very happy with this start to be in the game early, even though it was relatively close for the first half. The last time these two sides played, you just never felt that the Magpies were in it. They were very flat. But they're up and about as there's a whistle off the ball. It's a free kick, and it's going to go the way. There are the Magpies, and it's going to go the way of Samson Ryan. So Ryan to Riley Easton. Sort of just has to hesitate, then heads towards the middle of the ground. It's a worm-burning turnover. Pendlebury got the hands away, and they turn it over again. So this is dangerous. Hand pass over the top. Now to Harwood, 65 metres out to Lumber. They can escort this towards goal. That's a kick at goal, and that is a behind. That is a behind to William Johnson, and they've burnt an opportunity. So 2-1-13 to 1-5-11. 22 and a half going into this first quarter.
Yeah, a real missed opportunity there by Billy Johnson, but I love the way the Magpies are using corridor and taking the game on at the moment. They've used that spread and then they bring it back inside, so knowing they have to run against the wind, they've really taken the game on. I've enjoyed the way they're going about it. So the Panthers now trying to do the same thing, manages to get it bumbling forward, taken now in the hands of Howard. Howard takes the game on, takes a bounce through the middle of the ground. He keeps running, hands over the top. Ryan Dad, right foot ball along the square. They've got a man out. Can't quite get it on the first bounce. Who's going to keep their feet? Nicely done, Easton. Dubious disposal, but gets it going forward, and now they can escape the Magpies. Ball coming out through Johnson, that man. Tries to take him on, but runs towards him. Saunders kicks down the line, puts it under the pump. Lumber couldn't get to it, but the Panthers can't quite keep their feet. Just keeps that footy going forward, and well, the man next to me has decided to signal the umpire that was out in the full. We had a pretty good view of it here, but benefit of the doubt going to boundary umpire who's about 35 metres away. So we're going to have a boundary throw in right in front of the Panthers bench, as we said. 23 and a half minutes gone at first term.
Good contest this one early. Certainly been very willing. Moore, that's an industrious tap over the back, trying to find Harwood and Crawford. Got the sock at Dads. Well, he almost broke 2 tackles. Livesey gets it away. Then he tried to find Graham, and it's eventually going to come out to Mallon. That's a scrubbling sort of a ball. Find Johnson. Now they've got space here, the Magpies, if they can get it out. Cale Reid, he's got Edwards over the top. He scrounges it there, but gets it eventually. Steps inside well, back to Reid. Reid will turn around, 75 metres out towards the forward 50, and that is the absolute crappest kick you're going to see from him all day.
Yeah, big call, Rolls. Yeah, just not what he wanted there, but the big man standing in the hole, and now a very quick slingshot turnover here. Ball taken down there by Brock Aston. Quiet this afternoon, but can be loud now, and unfortunately kicks it back inside the corridor, intercepted there by Billy Johnson, and he's got a man over the top if he wants to take it. It was a little slow to see him, puts him under the pump and nearly had his head ripped off. Decapitated there was Harrison Kerr, but the umpire says, no, you've got to bring that back over the mark there, son. So Harrison Kerr and the number 29 right there on centre wing. The leads are coming. He wants to go towards it and kick to an interesting spot, puts him under the pump. And I'll tell you what, that man, Daniel Frame, has been big in the back line this afternoon and stands up tall again.
Always very industrious, Dan Frame. Howard. The ex-Redlands dasher. Such a good football. I think they're just trying to slow this one down because it's been a game in the last few minutes at least that's been played a lot between the arcs. Good kick from Howard. Finds Cunnington. Where does Cunnington want to go? That's a very, very good kick there to Livesey. Now Livesey can turn around. He's got options towards the broadcast wing. Instead he goes further afield to a contest. That's almost a mark. That is a free kick. That's paid or mark. Take your pick to Mallon. Now Ed Mallon, I don't know if he's got the journey from there.
Got the breeze behind him.
He's going to have to kick it from about 53 if he wants to have a go. And they've got more on the line. It's going to have to be a good kick. He gets right to the page, sends it on its way. He's getting a fair roost, but to the near side. 3 behind for Ed Mallon in this opening term. 2-1 to 1-6.
Yeah, I was wondering why the leads weren't coming out for him, but I'll tell you what, they backed him in. Confidence in his boot, so now they're just going to run it out, the Pies, and I don't mind that at all. Takes the man on, they're just going to go into the middle of the ground, but the kick had a little bit too much heat on it. Turned over now, Panthers footy, Cunnington, but now it's been turned over again. Pies have a chance, works it over the back of the contest. They got to fight for this one. Who's going to get hands to it first? Wrapped up immediately, and he's not going anywhere. And he was asking for it, Brody Lumber. The big lumberjack was appealing for it, but says no, so we're going to have a ball up 50 metres out from the Pies goal. 26 and a half minutes gone, first term, only a point in it. This could be big if the Magpies can make something from it. What's going to happen here? Hodge loses the tap, ball goes backwards. Now the Panthers, they get first hands to the footy. Crawford starting to get dangerous, and we're going to have another stoppage, just about 40 metres out now, so they're getting closer, Riley Starray.
Want to get some more scoreboard pressure before quarter time. Lumber wins the tap down. It's just going to be tied up again. If you're a Magpie, you sort of want to clear this area and try and get some space for your players to run in because they do have some dangerous midfielders that can swoop. And go once again. Hodge won it decisively. A little indiscriminate hand pass towards the boundary. Well, finds. That's going to be a free kick, and that's going to be a free kick going the way of Lloyd. So he had the space there, Rhett Lloyd. He's going to have a shot, and it's going to be a good kick if he gets it. It's 49 metres out, tough breeze. It's a very tough breeze this afternoon.
He's kicking right into this wind here. So really going to have to work for it. May even drop short. It's just died down a little bit, so can't be too long to go. Nearly 28 minutes gone first term. And he goes in short, wasn't checked his man. Turnover, now the Panthers can get it rolling forward, and there's a lot of space to work with. Mallon bounces out in front. He's got to get work here. Keeps it inside. Put under pressure there, and his man was taken out the centre, but it's just going to go over for a boundary throw in. So made up a lot of ground really quickly from that turnover there, the Panthers. So dangerous there with that counter punch.
But unfortunately, foot skills at times has really let them down today so far, as it has for both teams, if we're honest. The kick defensively, dangerous, but ultimately he was okay. Highlands now switch the ball. Now that's dangerous, but it found Mitchell. Now they don't really have many numbers on this broadcast side, so they're going to have to go inboard. Now living the fine line at the moment, the Magpies, but Lewis took a good mark. Then he'll sort of place the kick. Good spoil there from Crozier. And a great tackle from Joyce as well on Fletcher. It's just going to be tied up. Neither side really taking their full opportunity so far, but it's setting itself up very nicely.
I know it's an easy thing to say, but they've just got to keep those kicks a little bit lower going into the wind, because they're just giving the Panthers players just enough time to float back in. They're getting to very dangerous field positions, the Magpies, really leading hard on those 45s, but those kicks are just going that fraction too high, getting caught up in the breeze, and the Panthers are covering very quickly. Very good side, Morningside, sitting in third position at the moment, flying the flag for all Brisbane teams, and I don't know how a free kick wasn't called out of that. But anyway, it's working out all right for the Magpies. They've managed to keep it in, but now Daz just gets it going with a wobbly torpedo to the half-forward line. Keeps it inside, Mallon. Well, 3 behinds already, so he's dangerous in that forward line. And now the Panthers force the stoppage, boundary throw in, 45 metres out. So can't be too long to go here in this first term. Just the solitary point in at 1-5-11, the Panthers. So not long, and there we go. Quarter time here at Jack Esplin Oval, and it is tight. And no side at the moment, Riley Starray, really making the most of their chances. So this game will open up, we might see in the second term, but right now it is tight, tight, tight. And as the scoreboard currently reads, it is 1-5-11 to the Magpies, 2-2-14. We're going to be back for a big second quarter. Please stick around, join us in a couple of minutes' time. It's Morningside taking on the Magpies, and we'll be back with you very, very shortly.